Hey, I got a haircut. So Velma is so crappy that it's going to get good. At least that's what CBR is saying. Let's take a look and see what they have to say. Velma's terrible reviews may end up saving the show. CBR here reporting that HBO's Velma is not the greatest show, but is it as bad as the reviews would suggest? It's got a 1.3 on IMDb and a Rotten Tomatoes score of 6%, as you can see up here. This means the show is rated lower than movies like The Room. If you haven't seen The Room, if you like terrible stuff, go watch it. You might find it amusing. So they're saying that kind of like how The Room was so bad, it drove the popularity up, and that's what they're thinking is going to happen with Velma. Except they even say here that it's a mediocre show, and I would kind of agree. There is some Velma could be a lot better. There's little bits and pieces scattered throughout the show that it actually could be a good TV show if they weren't so focused on having to make some sort of social justice point. So we'll continue on here. Hearing that the show is average, boring, or just kind of bad is probably the worst thing that can happen to its viewership. Yeah. On the other hand, when people see reviews claiming Velma is the worst show ever made, that creates a level of morbid curiosity. Audiences will likely be inspired to see for themselves if Velma is really as bad as the reviews say. There are also plenty of viewers who intentionally seek out bad shows and movies to mock and laugh at with friends. This is true, but I don't think there's that many of those. Not enough to keep a show going beyond, we'll say, 2 seasons. If left alone, Velma would likely have faded into obscurity, but the large amount of negative attention may have given it new life. I don't think so. So I think what will happen is after it's all said and done, which is next Thursday, the last 2 episodes come out. I think after it's all said and done, that people will go and check it out. Then they're just going to shut it off after the first 2 episodes. They might give it 2. They might give it the 2 episodes, maybe 3. And then they're just going to decide to bow out because it is so preachy and so annoying and just Velma is so unlikable. She's so unlikable. There's been very, very small moments recently where it's like, oh, maybe we'll get some character development. I have no hope for that. We'll find out at the end of this week here. Despite negative reviews, Velma's viewership is much higher than other shows. While some of this popularity can be likely chalked up to the show's connection to the popular Scooby-Doo brand, it seems likely that it's part due to the amount of attention being paid to the show online. So, right, they say its viewership is much higher than other shows, but there's no numbers on that. The Nielsen ratings for the week that Velma came out isn't available yet. Those won't be available for maybe 3 weeks from now. I think it might be a month, but we'll see. Anyways, what they're going off of is the Parrot Analytics numbers, which is literally just any mentioning of Velma on social media and probably the internet. Like this article being written about Velma probably pinged some sort of Parrot Analytics thing. I know all my videos do. I know there's a lot of videos out there. Anyone talking about it on Twitter is picking up Parrot Analytics is picking that up and reporting that it's popular, even though they don't measure against good versus bad connotation of the way that Velma's being talked about. So let's see, what else do they say? Though Velma's IMDb user ratings are very low, it's the second most popular show on the site. There's no evidence behind that. And it's saying The Last of Us is the most popular show on the site right now. Sure, probably. There are also plenty of YouTube videos talking about the series, Even if many of these videos fall into the same category as exaggeratedly bad reviews, they still contribute to Velma's trending online. You see, that doesn't mean that people are watching it, though. You know, that just because people are talking about it doesn't mean people are watching it. If Velma continues to receive so much attention, it will continue to find a wider audience as more people's curiosity is piqued by its cultural relevance. If it continues to trend online, more content creators and websites will also be inspired to give their own takes on the show, perpetuating the show's popularity. Had Velma been given more realistically negative reviews instead of being touted as the worst show ever, it probably wouldn't have become such an online trend. Well, it's an online trend because you're literally shitting all over a lot of people's childhood. Scooby-Doo is one of the earliest cartoons that I can remember watching on a regular basis, and it was even before my time, but it was on TV still. This is and that's really why a lot of people are upset, because this isn't Scooby-Doo. This isn't Velma. This isn't Fred. This isn't what people grew up with. This is a complete rewrite where they just stole other people's intellectual property and turned it into themselves and just ruined everything. Velma doesn't live up to high or low expectation. Velma is mid. Velma is far from the worst show ever made, but also not very good. Many of its jokes fall flat, yep, and don't feel very creative. For example, Norville proclaiming that he does not like drugs almost feels like the writers were too busy patting themselves on the back for not leaning into the easiest Shaggy joke that they forgot to write a replacement. Watching the show divorced from online hype, audiences will likely find that Velma inspires no strong feelings one way or the other. Depending on how you felt about Scooby-Doo before Velma, okay, sure. The only real aspect of Velma that makes it stand out from the competition is the intense backlash to the show online. Thanks to the people who hate the show the most, Velma has become a trendy conversation piece instead of a simply lackluster adult animated show. There's also a chance that some viewers who check out Velma due to the hate stick around when they realize it isn't as bad as it's meant to be. Viewers' rock bottom expectations may actually make the show seem better in contrast. This, combined with the inflated viewership, may actually mean that Velma's status as one of the worst reviewed shows could actually be the only thing that gives the show the viewership it needs to survive. So here's the thing, is the show's annoying. Yes, it has its parts, like the mystery could be good. And there's parts that it could build on, but they are skipping that for the message. And they just want to do whatever the hell it is that they want to do. They don't care about actually writing a good story, which is so funny because they mentioned that like within the first minute and a half of the first episode about how story writing is so important. And they have a little bit of story in here. And then it gets completely washed away by all of their social platitudes and their preaching and everything that they have to let everyone know. That how bad white men are and how bad men are and how bad everyone is but Velma. So anyways, what do you think? You think Velma's going to get more popular after the series ends this Thursday? I think it might get, I could see a slight bump 1 week after everything's over with. So we would have to wait probably another 6 weeks to get those Nielsen ratings. But otherwise, I think it's just going to fall off the cliff. I can't wait for the Nielsen ratings to come out. Tell me what you guys think. If you like what you saw, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Also, I just got done doing the Something Something Sunday show on Wookie B. Bad's channel. I'm going to tag his channel down below. Come check it out. We're on Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern. It'd be great to see you there. Bye.